Welcome back to Softcore History. I'm your host for the week, Dan Regester. And as always, I am joined by my two co-hosts, Jake Goldman and Rob Fox. What is up, boys?
Hello. Nice gun.
Not much.
You like our salt gun?
Spread it on.
I ain't heard the cricket since.
Yeah.
Pulled this bad boy out. Not a chirp. Not a single chirp.
Have you ever used a bug assault gun before?
Oh, shouts to Gus, one of the listeners. He sent this in.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Bug assault, it shoots like a shotgun. It sprays.
Oh, nice.
So you pour you got to pour table salt in there. I don't know how sea salt
It's
would
got a
work.
safety on it.
Himalayan pink salt.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how the chunky salt would do.
Yeah.
But the sea salt, and it's just like, so I wanted to use it on like when the crickets are flying, like you're shooting skeet.
Oh, that's kind of sick.
I know, right?
Yeah. Can we hang out for like an hour after this episode?
I also wanted to get an air rifle that shoots like the metal BBs.
Yeah.
And like do just like a marksman shit, just play like metal sights, iron sights, you know.
Yeah, just get real old school with it.
Yeah, just get marksman on the fuckers crawling
It
around.
is dove season. Like, we could totally just have a little cricket skeet day and like make a little barbecue crickets.
Wrap them in bacon, put them in a jalapeno.
Cricket poppers. Yeah.
I lived in Texas for less.
Sounding like the new world order, making us try to eat cricket bars.
Yeah, dude.
They're
If
gonna-
you kill them first, it's cool though.
They're gonna make you. Yeah, if you hunt them, it's fun.
It's alpha if you hunt them.
It's a great time for our, or at least my friend Eli.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Golden Cricket. There's a free read for you. You owe us $250.
Just getting ahead on the New World Order. Just like beating the New World Order to their own
want
game.
you to eat bugs.
Eli's a conspiracy theorist to the point that he probably did start his nutrition company because he's like, this is kind of where the world's going to
He
go.
saw where the market was going. Yeah.
Yeah.
See what happened is
I need to
is that
cash in on it.
How
all
do I
the
get acquired by the Illuminati?
all the people. Yeah, all the people in the Illuminati, like steak and beef and stuff like that. Scallops, whatever. They've already reached their peak tastiness. So what they need to do is like it can't taste any better for them in their own mouths. So they have to increase the taste gap.
Right.
For it to satisfy
so much
them.
better than crickets.
Right.
Yeah,
they have to now be satisfied not only by the taste but by how terrible the taste everyone else is getting.
Yeah. It probably really. That's why skirt steak got so expensive, because they found out how tasty the poor cuts were, and they're like, "Damn it, we got to raise those prices."
Yep.
Yeah.
God damn it, these poor's been eating so good. For so long.
Fantastically.
Yeah.
Their strife has made their cuisine better. How? Like, yeah.
Ugh.
Classic.
It's all sizzle, though. It's all fajitas.
No, that's not true. Shit, it might be true.
Might be true.
It might be true.
I don't give a fuck.
I think the popularity of fajitas have made skirt steak go up.
Yeah.
Definitely has. When people realize, oh, I can buy a cast iron skillet and do this myself at home.
It's a little too show me when I go to a restaurant. Oh, cool, you got fajitas. Everyone's got to look.
Very rarely order fajitas, to be honest.
Yeah, I never do. There's better dishes.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'd rather not assemble my meal.
Yeah. Doing all the work for them.
It's like fondue. It's like you do it a couple times. They're like, they're
True.
warning me. They're giving me health code, like guidelines here. Don't cross contaminate. Like, okay, man, maybe you should just cook it.
It should be
you
like
do
a
everything.
rebate almost.
Yeah,
You get a little bit.
It's like, you
off
want a
the
tip?
tab.
You want a
because You
tip?
put the tacos together.
Yeah. Like imagine if someone, it's like tableside guac, but they just dump all the guac ingredients on the table.
I thought you'd like the mix.
You make the guac.
Here's a knife.
I would
Cut
do
the
that.
onion, you bitch.
Yeah. I would do
Actually, you know what? We got to take it a step further on fajitas and be like, here's an open flame and a skillet and raw. It's like skillet.
that. You
fond-
do. Wait, that's a Korean barbecue?
Korean barbecue. Shit. But that's different flavor profile. I bet we could get a bunch of Texans to be into Mexican barbecue.
Oh, fuck
quote unquote.
yeah. Morons. Like, easily could.
Yeah, dude, we just get them to cook their own damn fajitas.
Make your own Philly cheesesteak.
We also get them to make their own margs.
We open a restaurant with no overhead.
It's just, here's the raw ingredients to
Yeah.
everything you want. Have fun.
Bring your own ingredients. Isn't this just your fucking sauce truck?
That was
Box.
Box idea,
Yeah.
Sauceman's, where it's BYOF. You bring your own food and they have just every sauce known to man.
And that truck existed here in Austin and went out of business pretty quick.
Yeah, it was called Sauce Odyssey.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get down to business. Let's
What's
get
the
down to
first order?
brass tacks. Make sure to leave a review. 5 stars, please, and thank you. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, thank you for joining us. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/softcorehistory. You get 2 additional episodes every week.
That's 8 extra episodes a month, y'all.
But
Maybe
more than that,
But more than that.
More than that,
The whole fucking back catalog's
It's evergreen.
This is a history show.
Same thing with our actual feed. So if you don't want to pay the $5, you still like us, want to listen to us more, you can go back 3 years now.
3 years of content.
Yeah.
3 years where we didn't really miss. I think we missed
has it been
once.
3 years?
I think we've only missed once.
Yeah, we forgot to celebrate our 3-year anniversary.
Oh, whoops. We're pretty good at that.
Yeah.
I think we just throw a big Christmas party.
Yeah. At Boomers.
Obviously at Boomers.
True. Maybe we do a fan meetup at Boomers.
Yo.
That's the only appropriate place to have a fan meeting.
Yeah. And maybe, I'm not saying we're going to do this, but what if we had a bar tab?
Okay.
And we got on Where, When, What.
Dude, it's cheap as fuck.
It's seriously.
I'm fine. You know, if we have 15 fans show up and we go to Boomers and we can pay for that.
We
bar
can actually
tab.
talk about this off air because I have a connection with that as well.
Oh.
Did you talk to the bartender?
No, not a Boomer. It's something with something else, but
Yeah.
to be on When, Where, What, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
That would be the weakest one. It's like, at Boomers, this podcast, buying some drinks.
I would be so fucking drunk at that. Not even because I'm like, party, it's our podcast. Because I'd be like, oh my God, I got to talk to so many fucking people today.
It would be hilarious. Nah, man. Actually, yeah, because people just show up for the drinks.
I would just be like getting drunk. Like, yeah, it's like when TFM used to have the tailgate that one year.
Oh,
And I was the only fucking writer, basically. It was like me and Boosh and you. I don't even know if you were there a lot, but it was like
I was there.
yeah, we were like
showed up.
We were the only ones that would talk to people because everyone else was an awkward turd, and I would just get fucked up because I just couldn't take talking to that many strangers.
Yep, that's my job. Yep, that's my job. Yep, that's what I do. Yep.
And then they relied on me and Boosh to bring women to the tailgate.
Yeah,
It's like whatever
that was-
flavor of the
they were
week
all
we're talking
married,
to.
and
Yeah,
I was not at that point.
Funny thing is, you can still bring your wife to the tailgate.
you can.
Yeah.
And it was always a bitch trying to bring everything. But regardless,
Hey, you know what? Good times.
Patreon.com/softcorehistory, softcorehistory.com. We have new merch.
New merch.
Brand new
So much.
T-shirts.
2 shirts.
We got 3 shirts.
3 shirts.
Yeah,
That's right.
The No One Will Remember You T-shirts. We have, we kind of try to cash in on the Roman Empire shirt.
If you like that meme, buy it.
Yeah, it'll be irrelevant by the time it gets shipped to your door, but you'll always have the T.
We're in the second stage of it now so I get served a lot of history articles on my feeds just because I read a lot of history stuff and for this show and because I like history and everything. And now every single historical outlet or even like normal outlets that write history stuff sometimes like Wall Street Journal or The Atlantic and stuff like that, every single one is like historian explains why men are still so obsessed with the Roman Empire.
It's like what?
Even The Onion had a fucking thing.
It's so
Yeah.
late, but we're going to be quicker with the T-shirts. We should have printed this 2 weeks ago, and it probably would have actually sold. So
Yeah, we didn't think about it then though.
we're going to be better about that. We're going to be better with new designs.
Yeah, Dan was talking about how late it was. I was like, man, you told me about it last night at 7, and we got it up at like 10 a.m. or whatever.
I know. No, I'm
Yeah.
saying it was late on my end.
Yeah.
Should we
no,
do
it's
a-
all good.
Should we do an Irish shirt that says "Happy Halloween"? Ask me how you're appropriating my culture.
Oh man,
We could workshop that, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
we could.
Oh,
make it
speaking of which, Spooky Month coming up next week.
yeah, big
First
time.
episode of Spooky Month.
It's you two, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
I'm main.
You're main. I got a special guest for a Patreon.
Oh really?
Little extra, potentially tarot card reading
Oh okay.
for all of us now. Not just me.
Oh, I
And
love
not
that.
Veronica, a seasoned witch.
Oh, that's a shot,
That's
dude.
insulting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shots fired. Veronica or Taylor, if you're listening and you want to let Veronica know to curse Dan.
Curse him.
You don't have to curse me. You can come too. We can have a battle of the witches.
Oh my God.
You guys can bring your wands.
Well, my tarot card
Now,
says
if two witches come into contact with each other, do the tarot cards then become like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and they
fight?
battle each other?
Yes,
I think so.
it's like
Or you hit them with like the reverse Uno card.
Yeah. It's like Uno, but one of them dies at the end.
That's fun.
Hamilton.
It's like pick up 7 or like draw 7, but it's like 7 poisons.
Yeah, it's like 7 death cards in a row.
Yeah.
yeah.
So keep a lookout for that.
Dan just gets the same reading both times. It's still the same shit from the last
Yeah,
time.
Probably.
You
I
know
got
the 9/11 card?
Yeah, the Twin Tower card.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You're
my
good.
life has only gone downhill since.
Your life is a national tragedy. It's great.
From the outside, it looks so good.
What on the outside of 9/11 looked good?
I guess there's a lot of press coverage.
I
You don't
guess
have any of that
The outside of the buildings probably looked better than the inside.
What was it, United 93?
for a minute.
Brought the nation together
Yeah.
on a lie.
That's United 93 was
Maybe
the-
you're the bar, Dan.
Steel beam.
Yeah.
All
Jet
right.
fuel.
Well,
You ain't that hot.
I need some jet fuel because I'm a little tired tonight, but we're going to press through. We're going to give you
Love that energy.
a nice episode on Geronimo tonight.
Geronimo!
You familiar with this guy? Hear about this guy?
Indian.
Native.
Now, fun fact about Geronimo. I don't know if you included this, but a bunch of on D-Day, or I should say the day before D-Day, a bunch of paratroopers cut mohawks before they jumped in. It was because they had watched a Western or a film or something featuring Geronimo, and they were like, "That guy's a fucking animal. Let's go."
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm cutting my hair like the guy in the movie who had a mohawk.
He kind of took over pop culture even at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was he a Mohawk?
No?
Like a Mohawk Indian?
Yeah.
No, but he had a mohawk in the movie.
He was an Apache.
Okay.
Yeah, which Apaches are.
There's a lot of them.
Apaches are like the Spartans of Native Americans.
But Apaches are also just kind of like this umbrella term for the Southwest Indians.
Yeah, the Apaches had like a little empire, I believe, and so.
But so many different like subsects.
Yeah, similar to the way, the Aztec Empire. They weren't, you know what I mean? It's like they weren't necessarily Aztecs, or the way like Germany is still like there's Bavarians and whatever.
Bohemians.
Yeah.
He was also not born Geronimo. He earned that name.
That's tight.
We'll get to that. But he was born Goyathle, which translates to the one who yawns.
Goyathle.
Okay, so he's a real snooze.
Man, love laying goys, huh? I
Did-
do. I love laying goys.
Did not live up to his name, though.
Just one.
Yeah.
Exceeded expectations.
Oh, my Jew joke didn't work.
What was it?
I love laying goys. Goyathle.
I don't know what that means.
Oh man, you're both Catholic. It
You got to
sucks.
say it in a more Jewy manner.
I love laying goys.
There you go. Be stereotypical.
A goy is a non-Jewish person.
Okay.
My wife.
Yeah, you do. You lay one goy.
Wait, there's a cricket.
There's a cricket. But
get
there's no
it.
salt. It doesn't come loaded.
Oh, you're
You got to
right.
pump it too.
Damn it, you're right.
It's a pump action.
Is there salt in it?
Nah, it
There's
doesn't-
nothing
No,
in there.
Nothing in
doesn't
it.
come loaded.
I thought it would.
I told you we had to go get a thing of Morton's.
Of table salt, right?
Yeah,
I
that would
mean-
be what would be a funny thing in a movie is if like you're fighting off witches and someone just takes a bug of salt and starts blasting holes.
Yeah,
in witches.
because it's protection.
Yeah.
You'd make the circle. Yeah.
That would be dope.
Hey, is the witch gonna lay a circle around the studio, or a salt circle around the studio? We should make her.
What if we just like jokingly were like, pew with the thing, and then it really did like just blow a hole in her chest.
She just like evaporated through the roof and
Yeah.
like bursted into bats.
yeah. Just
What
a
if
bat.
that happened, Dan?
Yeah.
Damn, what if that happened?
Stay tuned. Geronimo was part of the Badunkahay Band, a smaller tribe of the Apaches with a population of a little over 8,000 in what is now modern-day New Mexico.
Southwest, baby.
His grandfather was chief, and once his father died,
Nepo, baby.
he and his
Never
3
mind.
brothers and 4 sisters went with his mother to live amongst the Cherokee Apaches. He was naturally gifted hunter and provided for his first wife, who he married at 17 and had 3 children with. She was the first of 9 wives.
Damn.
Do they stack wives? Or was that just like...
I
Do
think
they
he
have
did
divorce?
after the fact because what happens to his wife
You see what had happened was...
is kind of what gets the wheels in motion for what he does. and
Oh,
what he
so
gets
is this like the part in Braveheart they made up, where the English do something fucked up to the prima nocta, and then William Wallace starts murking Brits, but his wife dies, and he's like, well, now I have to go on a revenge spree to free Scotland.
Yes.
revenge / just slang my dick around spree.
Fair enough. I imagine he becomes a leader at some point too, and has to like marry to unite tribes or whatever the fuck.
Well, he marries this woman whose father is also a leader. So
Yeah,
he's just,
get pimped out.
he's
dude.
kind of playing the game, even from an early age.
That game exists across cultures.
Yeah.
by the way. Yeah, very much so.
It's like they can't kill us if my son fucks their daughter.
Yeah, then they have a baby of both of ours. And
Yeah.
we don't kill then.
I have terrible news for you, everyone.
Being on the run was a way of life for Geronimo and his people. They were in constant conflict with Mexico, the U.S., and local tribes as they constantly raided their neighbors.
Oh, I thought only America fought the Native Americans.
No, he mainly has issues with the Mexicans.
Oh, weird. I thought it was only America.
You know, the Southwestern this time. Everyone hated everyone.
What year is it?
Well, he was born, I think, in the 20s, so
1920s?
1820s.
Okay.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. 1920s. Whoa.
Yeah, 1820s. Okay, so this isn't even he's
so when
born
he's like
in Mexico.
17, 20,
1837.
a lot of this stuff's going to kind of circle around 1850 to 1880.
That's
Okay,
kind of late
so
for the
it's-
region, I guess, then.
So not for that region.
Well, I mean,
wait
it's
till
not
you
as-
find out how long he lives.
Okay, what I'm saying is like, I gotta imagine how long was the period of lawlessness post Mexican American War to
Quite
like,
a bit.
Like it.
Well, you gotta
into
think
the-
about
doesn't
it,
even
right?
get really. People don't even really start moving there. I mean, you have the gold rush of '49.
We're going to get to that.
To get to California, but people don't really start moving out there till after the Civil War in earnest.
Things start popping off because of the end of the Mexican-American War, where it's just all this like free land that settlers are going to try to eventually move to.
Mm-hmm.
And Apaches, they love themselves a good raid.
Yeah. No. For sure.
They were essentially just like plain pirates.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah,
It's like we've lived here forever, and you're here now,
They were-
so you're ours.
they were probably the fiercest tribe that the U.S. fought.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mexicans.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know anything about like what they were dealing with in the Yucatan or anywhere else, but up there for sure.
Well, yeah, around the border, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there were governments that were like full on, both Mexican and American side were like, bounties on scalps.
yeah,
Come get your money. Yeah.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
So he led 4 successful raids himself that kind of ended up having Mexico develop that bounty program.
Oh, he started it? He kicked it off?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So in response to these raids, Mexico developed a bounty system for Apache scalps, including children's scalps for $25.
Yeah. No, it
sounds
was
about right.
I mean, think about it this way.
You got to get rid of the
young.
revenge factor.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's actually, I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that. That's a good point. Like, if we're talking about the banality and the
I mean,
logistics.
look, it's just a fucking genocide.
Yeah.
You just gotta wipe them out.
Like, you're looking at it. I'm not saying, oh, God, this is terrible. Like, I'm just saying, if they are raiding you and you don't want that to happen anymore, you don't leave young ones.
Right.
Yeah. It's not pretty, the logistics of that and the semantics of wiping out a people.
No,
But you see how it gets
there's
there.
the calculus is there.
Yeah, there's math to it.
Yeah.
It's- math doesn't care. About
Did
it.
not
No.
think my 2 co-hosts on this show would advocate for genocide,
I'm not advocating for
We're
it. I'm-
just
especially
explaining the
a
math.
Jewish man
I'm
to my
sorry.
left.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You don't side with Mexico.
I don't.
I think you're a racist.
I think you're racist, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. His legend really starts on March 5th, 1851, when a Mexican company of 400 soldiers led by Colonel Jose Maria Carrasco attacked their camp at Llanos. Among those killed during the conflict were Geronimo's wife, all of his children, and his mother.
Damn.
Yeah, that'd send me on a spree.
Yeah. I think you start a killing.
Mm-hmm.
Geronimo, then only 22, would go on to wage war against Mexico for the rest of his life.
I think that's a life-defining moment. So yeah,
Yeah. I also like props to Geronimo. Like, I'm at war with an entire country now.
right.
Personally.
It's me versus
this part of the world.
fucking Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like the amount of determination in that moment, like the amount of hate you probably have in your heart for that. It's like,
Yeah.
this is my life's purpose. I will end this country.
Just
one person at a
destroying
time.
random Mexicans.
Yeah. And props, dude.
It became on-site for any Mexican that Geronimo would encounter. In Apache tradition, he burned all of his family's belongings and grieved in the wilderness, where, legend has it, a voice came to him and told Geronimo, "No gun will ever hurt you."
Fucking sick. Spirit of the forest?
Spirit of the forest.
Talking tree from Pocahontas just was like, hey, no one's shooting you.
And these are also direct quotes from Geronimo because he
That's
was
awesome.
There's I subscribe to newspapers.com.
Oh.
Awesome resource now. Kind of massive oversight on my part.
I subscribe to newspapers.com.
Dude, you can search anything and they will pull up like literal newspapers from the 70s, 1900s.
That's where I was doing when I was doing the newspaper blogs. I was also subscribed to newspapers.com, and I was just going through literal day by day editions of the Post-Dispatch, St. Louis Post-Dispatch from like the 1880s, 1890s.
Well, I have another question about what you just said, though. Why don't we get Grieve in the Woods days from work?
I know, right?
That's bullshit. Like, Geronimo gets to do it.
Baseball players get it.
Grieve in the Woods?
Well, you can take time off to grieve.
It depends. If you work at the right startup, you can go to Joshua Tree and do a bunch of mushrooms.
But that's like for networking and synergy and flow in business practice. I'm talking about like, yo, man, my dog died.
What is the technical term that a lot of people use for it?
For what?
That's what I'm trying to remember for the baseball, because it's a list. It's not grievance list. It's what is it?
Like when Ehrlich goes out, he's trying to like figure out. It's a vision quest.
Oh, vision quest. Yeah. Just like anyone can go on a vision quest. Yeah. But yeah, listen, yo, man, my dog died. I have to go in the woods for 3 days now.
You should, especially if your dog dies.
Yeah, absolutely. Go cry out there.
When he came back.
Oh, I'm sorry. The MLB has a bereavement list.
Oh, yeah.
So if like your dad dies in the middle of the season, they don't have to put you on the IL.
But you can just take a step.
Yeah, but then they can replace your roster spot. They have a paternity list, a bereavement list.
Oh, damn. That's pretty progressive of the MLB. Might as
Not
well.
really.
No. No.
They need to replace the guy on the roster.
Yeah.
When he came back, he went to the Apache band led by his father-in-law, Cochise, to ask for assistance and get him revenge. He gathered up 200 men and hunted down every single Mexican soldier who killed his family.
Damn.
Did he?
Allegedly.
In that time.
It took a couple of years.
I mean, and that's what makes me even more wonder. Did he? I imagine he killed Mexican soldiers.
I think he killed enough to be certain.
But, like, was he just killing
He was
random
definitely
Mexican soldiers?
No, he
at that
definitely
point?
killed this colonel.
Oh, maybe he killed the colonel. I believe that. That's easy, right?
Yeah.
Figure out that guy.
He's got a
But you were
name.
to find the corporal in 2nd platoon?
Maybe not.
Right.
Maybe.
I think at that point you're just off in dudes in blue
You
jackets.
at least got the guy that gave the order.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just making a checklist.
He's just killing random Mexican soldiers. He's killing that colonel and then a
I
bunch
told you it's on site.
and
Doesn't
that's
matter.
fine also. At this point, like, he kills your wife and all your fucking kids. Yeah, dude, just kill any Mexican
his mom.
soldier. And his mom. Just kill any Mexican soldier at that point.
He's making
I'm not even
his
begrudging
list.
it.
He's checking it twice. If you're Mexican, it's murder on site. Geronimo
Is coming to town. The name Geronimo came about during an attack on Mexicans, where our boy was surgical with the blade. Most historians believe that as the Mexican soldiers bled out from the knife, they cried out to Saint Jerome for help, and it just kind of stuck as he stood over their dead bodies.
Was he like, Jerome, no. No, Jerome. Was it in, what's that vampire movie, 30 Days a Night? When she's like, please, God. And he's like,
No God.
no, God. And he's like, Jerome, please. Jerome, no.
No.
And they're like, his name was Geronimo.
It's exactly how it went down. Like, it's a point in contention with a bunch of historians, but I'm going to go with that because it sounds dope.
That does sound dope. I
Like, it's
agree.
not confirmed, but we're going with yes.
You are
Jerome, no.
so comfortable with this little mimic sawed-off pump shotgun here.
It's nice.
It's
you
the
know?
Philly in you. You're getting a feel for it. I'm gonna get you a real one.
We have a real one. It's in that guitar case.
Don't let people know that.
People
Yeah,
know
there's
that.
a literal shotgun here with ammo.
Fucking surgical with it.
Short barrel.
I'm a surgeon with this thing, Jake.
This bitch, I believe. The surgeon with this bitch, Jake.
It's been a while since I've seen Training Day, but
Man,
you
I
get
watched
the
that again.
you get the point. It's one of my favorite movies. Attacks and counterattacks would go on for decades. Americans came more into the picture after the Mexican-American War, and the pursuit for gold brought miners and settlers into the region, which brought about raid opportunities on stagecoaches and wagon trains full of gold.
You know,
You got to fund your war, baby.
it's funny that like Wells Fargo's thing, right, is the wagon. The covered wagon, because that's how they
Yeah.
transported it.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm always like, so Wells Fargo was the most strapped wagon.
Yes.
Like that's what I think of when I see that. I'm like,
That's why they still exist to this day.
They were so guns up, no one bought.
Yeah, there was more than one dude riding shotgun.
Yeah, they were all riding shotguns.
There's a Gatling gun on every
They also killed a lot
side of the
buffalo.
wagon.
Just for funsies.
The buffalo caught strays. That's it. We accidentally almost
I don't think
wiped
we caught
out the American
strays.
buffalo.
I think everything
from
around
strays.
buffalo caught strays.
Most likely.
Yeah.
After American military intervention due to these attacks on their citizens, the Apache reached a peace agreement with Cochise, his father-in-law, and would establish reservations on the Apache land that they held near to their hearts. So they kind of came to a nice agreement, like, hey, just kind of, you can keep your land, stay there.
Some of your land.
Stop bothering us. Yes, some
Yeah.
of it.
So Cochise is his father-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Rob, maybe you remember this, Dan. I don't know if it was just my part of Florida or whatever. Do people call people Cochise?
I've heard that. I've heard it's from I feel like it was big in the 70s or something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it made
It's
a quick
Cochise.
comeback.
Yeah.
What's up, Cochise?
Yeah.
yeah.
I know. That was one of my first thoughts hearing that. Is that used to be slang.
It was slang for what's up, bro?
Yeah.
What's up, Cochise? Chief, really, is what,
I think so. Yeah.
Much to the disappointment of Geronimo. He hated that he kind of agreed to a peace offering.
Pieces for bitches.
It's like,
This man has no peace in his heart. And again, I don't fault him.
I was at war with the entire country of Mexico. Now I'm just not at war with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
He's at war with Earth at this
Yeah.
point.
My bloodlust is not filled.
Mm-mm.
Around the same time, the Apaches finally reached a peace agreement in 1873 with the Mexicans. Terms were agreed upon, and Mexican troops gave the natives mezcal to celebrate. Once they were intoxicated, the Mexican army then went back on the treaty immediately and started to slaughter and capture different bands of the
That's
Apache.
so fucked.
That is fucking insane.
That's straight up murdering your guest in the house kind of shit. You just did this? You just made the treaty?
Yeah, it'd be like if we just started unloading at Thanksgiving dinner.
I mean, it's the Trojan horse. It's anything like that, really. I feel like I just watched something where that happened too, where I watched some movie or something where it's just they waited, only half the group was drinking, but everyone acted like they were drinking, you know what I mean? And they turned on the other half type of thing.
Yeah. Yo, what if the Trojan horse was just full of other bros that wanted to tickle fight?
Yeah. Or, I mean, it's the Red Wedding, right?
It is the Red Wedding, yeah, for sure. It's the, oh, yes, we're binding these houses are getting married, and no. And
Yep.
everyone's here, great.
Yeah.
Dude, if I was a royal ever, I'd be like, I'm not going to shit.
I'm going anywhere.
No, fuck it. We got a castle?
Yeah.
Cool.
I live here now.
I'll probably get killed in this, but whatever.
Gotta get to me.
Yeah.
They were forced into the wilderness or sought refuge on the U.S. reservations. Though shielded from the attacks on these reservations, malaria was a bucking, and much of the population either died or became disabled from the disease.
That sucks.
Not ideal, but Geronimo, that strong boy.
Geronimo himself was at the San Carlos Reservation from 1877 to 1881.
He's already 60?
No.
He's born in the 50s. Or 20s,
No,
you said.
29. Like 29.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So he's in his 50s?
He's in his 40s.
He's in his 40s? Okay.
Yeah.
He lives forever.
Okay.
He's alive right now.
Yeah. He's still on the reservation today.
That'd be dope.
He escaped in September of 1881. He led a small band of Apache for the next 5 years, evading captors and picking off little raids here and there. They established a base in the Sierra Madre Mountains. Perceptions of Geronimo were all over the map. He was a bit of a lightning rod. His followers viewed him as the last great defender of the Native American way, but most of the actual Apache population that was on the reservation saw him as a stubborn holdout, violently driven by revenge and foolishly putting the lives of his people in danger.
Come on, man. They already got us. Just
It's like the Japanese guy in the jungle after World
on
War
the
II.
island
On
that
the
never,
island,
no, one,
but
that no one called.
Yeah, but instead he's in fucking Kyoto.
Yeah.
Dude, we're just doing stuff
No,
now.
it's all along the Western Front. the last scene.
Oh yeah, where
It's
they
like the war's over. Why are we going to battle?
I know. They just charge the trench. The general's like, we're doing it one more time.
For Germany.
We lost. There is no 4.
The U.S. Army's pursuit of Geronimo is what threw gasoline onto the fire of his legend. At one point, a quarter of all U.S. soldiers were on the hunt for Geronimo.
Yeah, although the sort of sticking point there is that prior to the end of World War II, the U.S. basically like didn't have an army.
It was about 5,000 people.
Yeah, unless they're at war.
It was about 5,000 people
Yeah.
that were constantly hunting down Geronimo.
So we didn't have like an active army.
We did not have a large standing army until after World War II. Even before, like especially like before World War I and before the Civil War. Like fuck, before the Civil War. Keep in mind that like everyone who was a general in the Civil War, for example, like I mean they were like before the war started, like 2 years before the war started. They were like lieutenants and captains. Lee was a colonel because there just weren't that many troops. Like didn't need more than a couple generals essentially.
Yeah.
So like all these dudes who immediately became generals because everyone gets breveted up. You know what I mean? Everyone just it's like, okay, well now we need the experienced people to do this.
And now these boomer troops,
Yeah,
keeping us all in the lower ranks.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But
there was a good portion of the media that also kind of went out to the West to follow this story with the U.S. troops.
hell yeah, dude.
And they would either romanticize Geronimo, kind of, or create this like overly villainous character.
Either way though, you got people reading.
Yeah.
You got people buying the papes.
there was no, hey, this guy's out in the mountains. This is wild, but, you know.
I think one of the best episodes we ever did, not to toot my own horn here, was on the penny papers.
People never wanted real news.
Yeah, that's how people never wanted real news. The invention, essentially, of the modern media started with the Mexican-American War, and it really just became, like, garbage news.
Sensationalism.
Sensational news, like, immediately, and you should check out that episode.
It's not new.
It's not even close to new. And this
A common
is that.
theme here. Shit don't change.
Shit don't change.
Captain Emmett Crawford launched an expedition into Mexico-controlled land after locating Geronimo on January 9th, 1886. He had his own group of Apache scouts that he gathered up, and they kind of went in, stole all of Geronimo's horses and camping equipment when they left the site, and this kind of demoralized Geronimo's group.
Yeah, losing your food and car would on a road trip would demoralize me.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Especially in the Southwest desert.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
takes your hotel reservation and
Steals your car.
and food and
When you go to check in,
Credit
they
card.
take your car
Yeah.
with your shit.
yeah, I would feel bad immediately.
As Geronimo was already on his way to surrender to the Department of Arizona General George Crook as they negotiated some peace terms, a group of Mexican soldiers came along and saw the American army with the Apache, accusing them of the crimes against Mexico that Geronimo himself had committed.
Oh, the Americans helped? Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking sure.
Tale
No.
as old as time.
The Americans and their group of Apache that helped hunt down Geronimo.
Oh, accused the Mexicans.
No, the Mexicans came up to them
Yeah.
and accused them of committing all the crimes against Mexico.
Yeah.
That's what we
That's
just
what I'm saying.
But Geronimo's gone.
Yeah, yeah,
Geronimo went to surrender to Crook
Right. And so now they're accusing U.S. troops of doing what Geronimo
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
along with their group of like U.S. friendly Apache.
Right.
That's the CIA,
If we had
man.
any fucking reason to do that. Like, buddy, if we wanted this land, we could have had it.
So yeah,
There was a great joke on Saturday Night Live back in the day from Colin Quinn where, like, Scientology was complaining that they were being persecuted in Germany. And he was like, and Germany responded, "We're Germany. When we start persecuting your religion, you'll know."
Is that a Weekend Update?
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic.
so the Mexicans slaughtered this American unit, including Crawford.
Damn.
This seems like a great opportunity for Geronimo to make an escape. So he does.
Why not?
Well, doors open.
Like,
The
that's
people that
handy.
hunted us down are gone.
Weird.
How is this not? What came of this literal international incident?
You know,
A whoopsie daisy?
more or less.
All right.
Yeah.
We all get a free one.
Yeah.
Especially in the Wild West. It's
Yeah.
like,
Right. Where did they
It's
die?
lawless.
You just drag their bodies right across the border. It's fine. Who's going to see you?
It's very No Country for Old Men. Just like, you know what? Nah.
Yeah.
We're going to just let this go. Yeah.
So Geronimo and his boys escape. They continued to hit up some raids, but ultimately, feeling the pressure of even more U.S. interference, they surrender in the summer of 1886. Over the next several years, Geronimo and his people were bouncing around, first to a prison in Florida, then a prison camp in Alabama, and then Fort Sill in Oklahoma.
Man, the worst places you could be in prison, and then the worst state.
The Indian prison state.
Yes. Giant Indian prison. Yes.
In total, the group spent 27 years as prisoners of war.
God
Jeez,
damn.
that's a long time to be a POW.
He doesn't die, man. He just keeps on trucking.
Hate. It's not the worst fuel.
It is quite the motivator.
Look, all you need to stay alive is a reason to stay alive. And if he's just pissed, wakes up every day looking forward to being fucking furious.
While he and the rest of the Apache remained under guard, Geronimo had a bit of a glow up, experienced a bit of celebrity from his white former enemies. Less than a decade after he surrendered, crowds longed to catch a glimpse of the famous Indian warrior. In 1905, he published his autobiography. In that same year, he received a private audience with President Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay. This is sick.
Super on brand for Roosevelt,
It's
by the
so
way.
on brand, dude. Also, he's like 80, 70, like mid-70s
Yeah.
probably.
I mean, and look, how is this any different? In fact, it's not any different than people wanting to take selfies with O.J. Simpson at a sports bar, which happens all the time.
Yeah, OJ didn't have a good enough reason to kill.
What?
OJ didn't have a good enough reason to kill.
Look, he found a man tearing apart his family. Geronimo's family was torn apart.
Listen, I'm not going to let you conflate what happened to Geronimo with the anti-Semitic sentiments of O.J. Simpson, okay? He's just mad because one of mine got one of his. And what was it, Jeff Goldman?
Ron Goldman. Or
Ron Goldman?
maybe something like
Whatever. He's a legend, all right? Even though I don't remember his
that.
first
Your
name.
cousin?
Yeah.
Your uncle?
Sure. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like everyone with the last name Smith is related, yes. But
If you go back far enough.
well, if you go back far enough, we're brothers.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
But, dude, like, that is the same. People do that now. But
Oh,
it
yeah,
really
they-
was just like they want to see, like, the scary man.
Oh my God! If Ted Bundy or like Ted Kaczynski
Yeah.
were alive, they'd be like, "Oh, dude, there'd be so many fucking little like
You would absolutely do that.
Ted
yeah.
Kaczynski." Shut up.
Not you. I mean, the royal you, but also you. But
Ted Kaczynski maybe. Like, yo, Ted, that book though.
Five-
Some bars, bro. Just a couple, not all, but a couple. Hot flames.
He was even in Teddy's 1905 inaugural parade, where he rode horseback down Pennsylvania Avenue with 5 Indian chiefs who wore full headgear and painted faces.
yeah, Mr. Frontier, Mr. fucking West. Teddy Roosevelt is. It's sad that we could never do an episode on Teddy.
There's so much to cover.
It's too much, and we don't like to do anthology.
We did him fixing football, kind of.
It was a blip of it because there's a general like football thing.
Oh, we also did him on the Patreon Fruit War episode, where
Yeah.
he was essentially responsible for cleaning up banana injuries,
yeah.
banana peel injuries.
He saved the United States of America from suffering the most infuriating Mario Kart setback.
I think there are certain people in history that we avoid because there's just no way we could do one episode on them. Like Teddy, Julius Caesar,
yeah.
people like that.
I
But
mean,
I do-
Iconoblast did like 20 episodes on Caesar.
because of course
We
they
don't
did.
do that.
It,
We
well,
don't do
it's
that
like,
here.
Of
We don't do
course
that
they
here,
did because it's a lifetime of work. Like for us, I like when they make a weird cameo in our normal, in our weird ass stories where it's like Teddy Roosevelt stopped the banana problem.
Or it's another thing where I could do an episode on why I think Caesar sucked ass.
Yes.
You know, like why Caesar deserved to get stabbed 100 fucking times or whatever.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be going over his whole. I wouldn't talk about the pirate stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like
it's
it's superfluous to the topic. Yeah.
Yeah. No time.
Yeah. So you could zoom in on little parts of their lives, but yeah, I mean Teddy is just one of my favorite things. Is I would just do Teddy in the Spanish-American War because Teddy Roosevelt was just like, I'd like to see combat.
Neat.
Yeah, which is an insane thing. Like he's just like in like maybe America's least moral war.
We should definitely make a Rough Rider shirt.
Rowdy Gentleman did a while back.
Whatever.
Steal it.
Yeah, they don't exist anymore. I don't
They
think.
do. They do. Don't do that.
All right, it won't be exactly the same design. The intent of him going down on horseback was to show that the natives and Americans had buried the hatchet forever. Later that same week, Geronimo met with Roosevelt and made a request for his Apache group at Fort Sill to be relieved of their prisoner of war status and allowed to return to their homeland.
He was a prisoner when he was in the parade.
Yes.
The fucker didn't have a choice.
Wait, back up. Like when he's having a private audience with the president.
He's still a prisoner of war.
Doesn't sound like the hatchet was buried during the parade, by the way.
Yeah, it sounds
if
like
he's your prisoner.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roosevelt refused, and he said,
What?
he's like, you're not going back to your homeland. You're going to have to deal with this.
So he was Roosevelt's pet.
Yeah,
That sucks.
more or less.
What a shitball. That's a dick move, Ted.
And Roosevelt stared Geronimo in the eye and told the native that he had a bad heart.
Thanks for the audience,
Teddy
you
doesn't give
bad-hearted prisoner.
Teddy doesn't give a fuck. But I do like that Teddy's like, I kind of feel like he saw combat just to get the clout of seeing combat.
Just so no one could one-up him.
Right. He could be like, I've been shot at, you know, like and not to say that like San Juan Hill was a real battle, you know, like, and
Sure.
he was charging up against machine guns and stuff like that, but which is not an ideal thing to do in that time period, any time period, but especially that time period.
That one, yeah.
That's relatively new.
Yeah. But like at the same time, I do just kind of feel like it was a bucket list item.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a thing. Like, that's very much a thing. I personally, like, I know I will never go into war or anything like that I plan on.
Right.
Like, God forbid. But, like, there's always
Other than your few tours in the IDF.
Of course.
Right.
Of course.
Every time you take a
It's not a war,
vacation.
That's a police action.
Again, I don't know how many times I have to fucking tell you stop talking about that on the podcast. Like, it's not, cut it out.
Okay.
Like,
I'm sorry.
I'm supposed to be hush-hush about that, and this is the main. Save it for the Patreon.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
That's where the IDF stories happen.
That's where you get it. Patreon.com/softcore-history. No, but for real, though, like, there's obviously been times in my young male life where I'm like, there's some glory in that, right? There's some, like, there's got to be.
I don't know if there's glory.
Well,
but
like, there's some elevate, and I know this is naive, but it's like, I know in my little, like, heart of hearts, my little boy brain back there, I'm like, that's like the elevated life experience.
No, that's how they view it.
Yeah.
That's how they view it. The people that were in combat.
No, I mean, but
That's
like,
absolutely how they view it. I've listened to enough of them talk about it.
It is the most extreme version of existence to be at war.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Our fucking boss who was in a ton of combat is like, there's no bigger thrill than killing someone who's trying to kill you. That's an almost direct quote. I am barely paraphrasing.
The closest I've ever gotten is like sacking a QB when I played D-line. Like in JV football. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And when you feel that, you're like, man, imagine that times infinity, basically.
I think probably the closest I've ever gotten is
Probably a fight.
buying a Plan B pill for a girlfriend.
Okay.
I beat that. I beat the charges, man.
I think the best feeling is just knocking somebody out cold in front of the group.
I've never done that.
That's awesome.
Never done that.
Dan, of all the people here,
Obviously, Mr. Tat
it's
Sleeve.
clearly You're holding a fake sawed off. You got a full sleeve tattoo.
Well, it's not full.
Is your lighthouse? It's beaming. It's beaming light. See, you should have had it not beaming light, and then when people ask, you need to be like, because this arm puts your lights out.
It's the sleep
This arm is lights out.
It's a sleep arm.
Yeah.
That would defeat the purpose of a lighthouse.
No, that's
Dude.
the fucking metaphor of the lighthouse that's not shining any light. Because this arm,
No, I get
lights
it.
out.
I get what you're saying.
So get it filled in.
No,
you can get it filled in.
He needs fist tats. NITE, NITE, night, night. That's pretty good, right? Do it. Please do that.
All right. Well, we'll think about it.
Okay, thanks, Dragon.
His death came 4 years later after meeting with Roosevelt while riding home in February 1909. He was thrown from his horse.
What a shit way. That's like Patton. That's literally like Patton. Dies in a Jeep accident a month or a couple weeks after the end of World War II.
Death always finds you.
Yeah.
And if you outlive it when you shouldn't have, it finds you in a very mundane way, I feel like.
It's the opposite of Final Destination.
Yeah.
He did
That'd be
not.
funny. Let's make a Final Destination movie where everyone just gets cancer.
Well, he didn't die instantly. He survived a night out in the cold, and when a friend found him the next day, Geronimo's health was rapidly deteriorating. On his deathbed, he confessed to his nephew that he regretted his decision to surrender, and he would never. He wouldn't have done it.
You know, after 20 to 30 years of POW
Yeah.
existence,
He confessed that?
I don't think you had to.
They were like, hey, we know.
Bro, we
know.
get it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like that he didn't back down from his actions of like murder in cold blood. He
Right.
backed down from trying to find peace in
Dude,
it
he was
somewhere.
man on fire. I don't even fucking blame him.
No,
No,
once
not
your
at all.
whole
Blame him
family
for
gets
any
murdered.
innocent people he killed in a raid on a gold wagon.
He did it all the time, though.
Yeah, that's fucked.
kind of why Roosevelt was like, "No, fuck off. We're not giving your land back." Like,
Yeah.
Actually, nah, man. I don't. Is it fucked? It's the Wild West. Get yours. That's what that place was for.
the fact that he was able to live,
Not like
I
a-
can't believe he wasn't hung.
Not like a cowboy that did that was a good person. I know, right? They were hanging horse thieves. This guy,
They were hanging horses.
yeah, and this guy kills 1,000 people, and they're like, "You're banished to Florida."
I guess
Dude, I
because
guarantee you
maybe
that
if they
sucked.
did it, natives would rise up or some shit. I don't know. But even most of the Apache were like, "You're kind of like."
Yeah, they didn't like him.
Yeah.
Dude, even that happened a lot with native tribes. People don't realize
You're from another time. We've moved on.
they were even Sitting Bull resisted, but the other Sioux chiefs were like, "Nah, all right, we surrender." Not that they want. I'm sure that they didn't want to, right? But it's just at some point you're beat, and it's just you got to start looking around at the people you're leading and be like, we can't just continue a guerrilla war indefinitely. There's fucking kids here. There's old ladies.
I think though there is something deep down, at least admirable of fuck it, I'm going till I'm dead. You'll never have me.
It depends. Not if you drag other people with you against their will.
That's fine. Can they surrender without you?
And that's what they did.
Yeah.
That's what the other Apache did. That's what
But I guess I see what you're saying too from a cultural standpoint where it's we're trying to just be alive here,
Right.
and you're fucking it
they're
up.
like you can't. What do you do after you're checkmated? Start a fist fight with the guy you're playing chess with? What?
Yes. That is exactly what you do, because you know what? Chess ain't real.
But
chess,
at some
dude.
point you're just there's nothing you can do. It's at some point when you're a leader and you're in a war or whatever. There's other people you're responsible for.
Totally. I get that. But at the same time, get yours.
Get it?
Get it. Never quit.
So if a Geronimo wants to take his merry band of other dudes who were like, fuck this, that's fine. But if he was the chieftains and stuff, the people leading whole ass communities were like, I hate this, I don't want to do this, but
Yeah, I guess I'm
out of options.
I'm kind of playing devil's advocate for Al Qaeda right now. If you think about it, at a certain point,
Right.
it's well, none of these folks really want you to do this anymore, but you're just here making
Yeah.
it hard. Yeah.
So he was buried at Fort Sill in Oklahoma. Then there was a story that came out around World War I.
Okay.
were a group of Skull and Bones members.
Oh, they have Geronimo's bones. I forgot about that.
They went to basic at Fort Sill.
Yeah, during World War I.
During World War I, and they stole Geronimo's skull.
Is that the skull from Skull and Bones?
I guess
That's rad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awful, but it's of all the fraternity shenanigans you can get into.
They haven't really confirmed this, but like there's stories up to like 2009 where like people are asking Skull and Bones to give back Geronimo's skull.
They're like, "What are you talking about? That's not a thing."
So, yeah, there was an AMA with a guy by request. I'm a member of Skull and Bones AMA, and he like confirmed it. It was legit. I remember we covered it.
Oh, really?
I think. Anyway, he said he's kissed Geronimo's skull. Dude, like they have Geronimo's skull. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
You got to imagine he's the least successful Skull and Bones member to do an AMA.
I know, right?
Wait, W was a Skull and Bones member, right?
Yeah.
W's
Rami
kissed Geronimo's head.
I mean, and Geronimo's descendants have legit sued Skull and Bones. Like
to
they
get
think
his
he
goddamn skull back.
They tried Apacheing Skull and Bones instead of suing them.
Yeah, right.
Taking scalps.
That's cool. We'll kiss Brett's
The
skull.
lawsuit was dismissed in 2010.
You think the U.S. government's going to be like, all right, Skull and Bones.
Yeah, I wonder what the judge is just like, you can keep the skull, boys. Does his little hand signal.
Yeah.
And that, as far as we know, is the story of Geronimo.
Sick.
What'd you guys learn?
Well, I forgot about the Skull and Bones part.
That's fun. That's very fun. That's the most recent thing that's on my mind. But I definitely learned about Teddy just being like, this is burying the hatchet between us and Native people. And then as soon as they're like, hey, we've been prisoners for 30 years under the U.S. government, he's like, you have a bad heart. Fuck off.
Okay, so the AMA guy.
Okay, yeah, get back to that.
My fucking God. So the first question on here that isn't deleted, or it's first if you sort by best. This user goes, Geronimo's bones, ? You got anything on that story? And then the guy goes, no comment. But yeah, we has them.
I don't know if this guy was in Skull and Bones, bro. I don't think that counts.
I think it does.
I think it does.
Oh, if it's in an AMA, of course.
I'm pretty
Why are you going to
sure-
ruin this, Jake? I want to believe. I want to believe in something.
Okay, if it's true, this guy is the worst Skull and Bones member. Like, this guy's like a regional manager at a Bank of America.
Dude, I would give away all the Fiji secrets if you wanted me to.
Because no one cares about Fiji.
Yeah,
like,
no
no one,
shit.
like, dude, the Library of Congress has like all of our fraternities rituals.
We're all Freemasons, bitch.
You're not Freemason.
You don't know that. You don't know
Why
that.
are you here then?
I'm pretty low on the totem pole.
So you're this guy. You're this guy of the Freemasons.
Yeah.
Sick.
I'm just looking for anything else about Geronimo's bones here. But yeah,
We has them.
we has them. I believe it. That's
Print
all
the-
I need to hear.
Print the shirt. We has them.
We has them. This is a pile of bones.
Who's Hitler in this story?
I think it's
Whoever
you
killed his family.
you either die the hero or live long enough to become the Hitler.
I mean, the reason his family dies is because he committed a bunch of raids on Mexican soldiers.
Killing them, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then they retaliated, went to his village, killed his family.
But I mean, he was only killing soldiers. I assume he eventually got into civilian death. Oh, was he not only killing soldiers?
No, he was raiding.
Dude, all right, fuck.
Whoever
this
gets in the way of raids.
Yeah, so he was killing civilians. He got his own medicine tossed back in his fucking face. Got his family killed.
Well,
What?
you
It's
know,
the white man, though, the pale man.
Well, when I was reading Blood Meridian and Glanton, listen, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that to y'all.
Yeah, I still want to read that book.
It's so good.
I read the preview on Apple Books or whatever.
Yeah,
I liked
like
it.
after a book or something like that. Or
I was like, that was just like part of the first chapter. Anyway, yeah, it's Geronimo actually. Geronimo's Hitler.
Okay.
He immediately reaped what he sowed.
I'm gonna do the politically correct answer.
Classic white man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Mexicans that killed the friendly Apaches in the U.S. that were trying to suss things out.
I mean, they're definitely assholes.
Those
Shot
guys-
first, ask questions later.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they asked any questions.
They didn't even even stick around to figure out if they were right.
Ask question, answer it yourself, start shooting.
Yeah. Anyways, I started blasting.
Yeah.
So
I'll go with them.
That's the story of Geronimo. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to, again, check out patreon.com/softcorehistory. 2 additional episodes every week. Softcorehistory.com for merch.
Do we have any reviews to read?
We had an extra review that I just posted on my Instagram today.
Just the one?
Just the one.
Okay,
So
we'll
you can go ahead
save
and-
it then. We'll save it for when we have a couple to read.
Okay.
So it's
Again, make sure to leave a review on Apple, and we'll read the best ones next week.
yes.
Spotify, you just got to leave 5 stars. Appreciate everything you guys do for us. Without you, we don't have a show. So thanks for tuning in. For Rob Fox and Jake Goldman, I'm Dan Jester, and you just got soft served.